Look who we got here.
Legends.
Legend. Pat LaFontaine.
Thanks for
I'm so pumped to have you on here. This is our segment where we just want to get to know the player a little bit. And obviously, everybody knows who you are and want to learn a little more about you and what's going on in life right now. So, welcome, man.
Hey, it's good to be here. Watch you guys all the time. I'm very busy. I became a grandfather.
Congrats.
I have a grandson named Patrick. He's 3 years old, and we're expecting a granddaughter and my kid in March. So life is great. I'm a consultant. I still do stuff with the NHL. I work for NFP as a consultant, as a sports ambassador. I'm involved in a lot of different projects. So keeping busy. One of them actually is a company called Valor.
Tell us more.
Yeah, those look nice.
That's fire, by the way.
Cool, right?
Sweet.
So obviously, I retired because of concussions. And Dr. Kelly, who helped me, Dr. James Kelly out of Denver, he and I got together a few times and said, okay, how do we take a helmet and elevate it, and how do we try to take what's already there and even make it more advanced? And so we thought of all the things, and we made it what we call a mono shell, so it's a one piece. Most helmets are two piece.
Yeah.
But if you find out, if you hit it evenly, if you take an impact, it absorbs evenly around the outside of the shell.
And I mean to interrupt you, because this is something that I would feel as a player too. So when it was two-piece, for
Kinda
sizing
collapses.
purposes, it does that. But also when you get hit, it squeezes your head. Like it pops
Compresses.
you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having a one piece that can sustain and disperse evenly,
Exactly.
it's a game changer.
Well, and you have the NFL's one piece, motocross, lacrosse, all of Major League Baseball. So we also have a dial here. It's called a fit system that allows for the helmet to customize as a one piece, because it's harder to build a one piece shell. So from my perspective, we wanted to make sure that we created a high performing safety first helmet and then make it really comfortable. And then we kind of gave it what we call the shape of the future.
Yep.
It's one of the things we talk about is evolution of the sport.
Sure.
And we say beyond traditional safe. So traditionally, two-piece helmets and other things are a part of our game, but if we're going to evolve, how do we make it safer? How do we make it better? And for me, it's kind of a give back. The game's been great to me my whole career, and how do we try to leave it better and safer for the next generation?
Just want to, being a gear nerd myself, I just want to kind of dive a little bit deeper. If you can, there you go, flip it over. There's also the foam, the padding is very different.
Yeah.
So maybe
you
you
can
mic. Show that. Show
Sure.
that.
Yeah, speak to the
even show the thing you're showing us earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
So
little show and tell.
I actually lost my helmet once and hit my forehead on the ice.
Right.
And what we have now is called a fid lock. So it's magnetic. Once it locks, it's not coming off.
Right.
And so for anyone who's lost their helmet before, you don't want it to come off, especially after you've been hit. So that was one of it. Then we have two different sizes of padding, where we have this EPP, which is thicker in the front, thicker in the back, and there's a chassis and truss, we call, and how it's put together. And then we have a second layer EVA foam that's
the gray. That's
which
light
is
gray.
strategically put around your head for those everyday hits. And it also has a clear skin foam, hydropel, so it also wicks the moisture. And then we create the air channels. So literally, all the air channels are hooked up to the vents that allow for airflow. You know how many times we're sitting there, we get steam in our
If Weeksy was
in our visor.
All right, trust me, Weeksy
God.
would need that.
I remember
Weeksy
I remember that for minor hockey.
Yeah.
When we used to wear the old buckets. Oh yeah, of course. I would definitely need that.
So
I need one now.
So any of our viewers out there and kids playing, parents watching, where can they?
You can get this at valorhockey.com. Go on the website, and we're going to start going into box stores next year.
Nice.
And we're very excited about it. And it got a 5-star safety rating, which is the highest you can get in hockey right now.
That's a ton of R&D that you guys put into that, and it shows, no question.
Thank
Great
you.
job on that.
Hey, I want to take it. I want to be the low teens, maybe Mike Rupp here. I was a big Pat LaFontaine fan. I was a fan actually. So I grew up in Cleveland and didn't get to watch a ton of hockey. So what actually got me interested in certain players was their names. I used to love certain names.
Yeah,
let's rip off some of the names. Pat LaFontaine was one. I remember Bernie Nichols. I'm like, what a cool name.
Yeah.
Mike Kershelniski. Like some of these.
Wendell Clark, Landon McDonald.
Yeah, you had certain names.
Cool names.
And I thought your name. And I was watching, and then I'd start watching you play more and more. And like, I didn't realize that you beat out Mario. Can we please share that?
Junior hockey? Well,
what did you get? 230.
Yeah, 2,200,000 points.
and second.
234
Mario was
points.
second
Who does
that year.
Well, Mario. Oh, listen, Mario's legendary, obviously, and he came back and got me 10 years later after he came back from Hodgkin's. But I think he remembered 10 years earlier, I think he had me by 50 points. And luckily, somehow, we traded for Gerard Gallant.
Yes.
Gallant, he became
Turk.
he became my left winger.
Yeah.
And somehow our team just clicked, and we ended up winning the President's Cup, going to the Memorial Cup finals. And I ended up beating him by 50 points. Now, don't tell Mario that.
You were down 50 and beat him by 50.
I got lucky every once in a while.
This is unreal. You know what? The fact that you were able to run those numbers, and a lot of people don't know this, but you being American-born, we'll get back to Michigan in a second, but yourself, Mike Badano, my man Jamie Langenbrunner, all of you American-born players, American-trained players, and our Mike Rupp, that all went and played major junior in Canada.
Yeah.
That's impressive stuff, because it wasn't a thing in your day, for sure.
Yeah. It wasn't back then, Weeksy. In fact, I was told I was able to get a full scholarship to Michigan State. Ron Mason.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Spartans.
No way. I had a verbal with Michigan State with Ron Mason.
No.
And unfortunately, I bailed last second, and I felt so bad because I wanted to go to Michigan State, but I was like, I don't know, I feel like the OHL would be better. But anyways, go ahead.
No, I was
crazy.
16, and I remember playing in Canada and the competition, and I turned to my mom and dad and said, listen, if I don't make it by 20, I promise you I'll go back and I'll go to school.
Wow.
But I said, I want to go where the best place for me at 17 to try to become a professional player. That's what I wanted to do. Little did I know the first year we would play in Verdun, and things took off, and then I played for the Olympic team in the next year and joined the Islanders. That's, at 18, just turned 19 in February, went to the Stanley Cup final. So it all kind of happened fast, Rupper, and I credit the 80 team for opening up the doors. And there's two players that I don't think, that maybe three, that don't get enough credit. I think of Joey Mullen.
Yeah.
I think of Bobby Carpenter.
Yes.
They didn't play on the 80 team. Rod Langway, Reed Larson. These guys started the wave, and then the 80 team came in and inspired a bunch of young boys and girls to want to become an Olympian and maybe professionally a pro hockey player.
It's crazy. I was at the Vaughn plant in Michigan in Lake Orion 2 weeks ago, and Mike Vaughn was telling me these stories like, Pat LaFontaine, man, here in Michigan. Man, as a Michigan kid, you should have seen this guy. He was shredding up goalies. He's like, I make this goalie gear. I make this equipment, but he was shredding goalies up. So anyway.
Well, Weeksy, I've got a good story about, you're going to like this one. So
Bring it.
13, 14, 15, I would get dropped off after school, sweep out locker rooms, clean the rink, and then I would go sharpen skates.
Love it.
I'm 16 years old. I'm sharpening at Pirani Sports.
Pirani's, yep.
Right?
I love Pirani.
And there's a guy there's 19 working on a goalie glove, and I turned, I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm working on this glove.
Awesome.
He says, you know what? I go, I said, that's great. He says, he goes, one day I want to own my own company. I want to be, a goalie pad maker.
Yeah.
And I'm sharpening skates, and I stop and I go, and I'm going to be in the NHL. Ha, ha, ha.
No way. Seriously?
I'm 21 years old. Kelly Rudy comes out with these pads.
Yeah.
And I look at the name. I run to the back to Jimmy Pick.
Yeah.
I bless Jimmy Pickard.
I
said, Jimmy, who's this guy named Vaughn on these he goes, is he from Michigan? He goes, that's Mike Vaughn from Michigan.
Wow.
I pick up the phone.
That's cool.
I call him, and I said, Vaughn. I said, Mike, I can't believe it. You did it. Congratulations. He says, yeah, so did you.
So did you. Yeah, exactly.
That's
True
so
story.
Cool.
That is
That's
unreal.
right?
What a story that is. I didn't know that backdrop. That's great. Thanks for sharing that. That's unreal.
That is.
You just never know.
That's so true. That is so true. Go ahead, Rupper.
I want to ask you the longest game. You guys, you might know the answer to this. So it's the longest Islanders game, longest playoff game in NHL history. 4 overtimes, Easter epic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you take us back in that and just even maybe share just, nothing like that, but we've all played in overtimes in the playoffs, and just what do you start going to in intermissions for fuel? Like, do you just start throwing anything in your body? Can you take us back to that time?
You'll love it. Back then it was Carbo Pro.
Wow.
And the fruit, oranges.
Yeah.
I actually asked for oxygen from their third guy. And he gave it to us in the third overtime, and I think later he got fired.
Oh, that's
forgiven it because Nico
son
Macklin and I took the oxygen, and we were laying with our feet up.
Yeah.
Clarkie, God bless him, Clarkie lost 12 pounds that game.
Wow.
And I'll never forget, we're playing, it kept going. Trotz scored the tying goal. Flat scored the first goal, and then Trotz scored with 5 minutes. The next thing I know, it's period after period. we came out gangbusters for the first 5 minutes, and then we held on. If Van Hellemond really wanted to call penalties, it would have been. Yeah, I watched that game, and there's a lot of penalties. But all of a sudden, we hit it. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm watching Bobby Basson because I was watching him. Kelly Rudy made like 75 shots.
Fire.
75 saves.
Yeah, Rudy was money in that game.
Bob Mason, who was my teammate, teammate for the Olympic team, I felt terrible. I spun around. I never shot a puck like that before.
Was it on edge?
It was on edge, and I just said,
you shot
please hit the net, because the pucks were like beach balls for these goalies.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, Jimmy Pick says to me, he goes, "Pop, you're going to go get one. Call me Pop." I said, I feel it. He put water down the back of my neck.
Yeah.
Could feel it. I look up. There's people sleeping in the stands.
Wow.
Somebody starts playing. The pianist plays Twilight Zone.
No way.
It's like, no. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I said, is this really happening? Basson comes off. I cover for Bobby. Deneen pinches. I said, okay, I better cover for Gordy. And he tries to bring it from the net. And the way the puck came out, I just spun around, and I just said, please just hit the net. Then I heard the post, and it stopped. Everything stopped. And then Bob Mason dropped to his knees, and then we went nuts.
That's one of the most iconic moments in NHL Stanley Cup playoff history. Our league's been around north of 100 years, man.
It's the oldest Game 7 in Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's unreal. I remember watching this
the
game
longest
with my dad.
Game 7.
The fact that it was...
When you scored, it was 2:30 something in the morning,
Yeah,
Eastern.
it was 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, right? It was 2 something in the morning, Eastern. I remember watching that. That's wild anyway, Rupp.
In a Game 7? Are you serious?
Bro,
Yeah.
honestly, that was fire. Like, that's
was
one of those epic moments in league history.
Oh, it's Easter
Right?
epic, special.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I remember the most was our team was down 3-1, and back then there was only one other team that came back.
Yeah.
So the fact that we fought and created a Game 7 and then won it, we're the second team to actually do that. It happens more often now. But the way our team came back and played and just pulled that one out, we'll never forget it.
Wow,
It was
man.
special.
Unreal stuff.
That's good.
How great is this here behind us?
So good, right?
Yeah, this is super sweet. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for what they've been able to build here.
Yeah.
Then adding on with this here. Go ahead, Rupp.
It's been a long time waiting, and this is my first time here today, and I'm walking in. I say to these guys, I'm like, I know you've been here. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, and when you start looking at some of the other venues and surrounding areas in the league, like, this is right there. It's going to be just as good as anywhere, and I love that New York is getting this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of a kind. I mean, you think about it. We got 2 rinks, one artificial, and then one real behind us. And then you've got beer gardens, and you've got, carnival type of events, and, they've got fire pits. I have to say the Islanders have done an amazing job. This is really one of a kind. I mean, this is Winter Classic every game.
Right.
I mean, you guys have done the Winter Classic many times.
Yeah.
And as you know, John Collins is the connection between the Winter Classic and the New York Islanders.
John Collins lurking in the back over there.
John Collins should get us those igloos so we can do the Winter Classic.
Yeah,
we freeze our you-know-what's up there. But this is perfect here.
Yeah, he knows a guy or two or a person or two. Yeah, that was kind of born out of his innovation, but it's really cool. When you think of the great Lou Lamoriello and everything he's done and everything he means to the game, everything he's done for USA Hockey, everything he's done for the sport, and building a Prudential Center, and then now opening this building, that's massive for the sport, but especially for the Metro New York area.
Yeah, I mean, Lou's an icon. I mean, he's done so much for our sport, and he runs a tight ship.
Yes.
I mean, Rupper, I mean,
I have a beard today because
you're gonna have to shave
because I couldn't all those years there. I didn't know until I was 27. I'm like, I could grow facial hair. It's incredible. So I kept it ever since.
That's funny.
He's done an unbelievable job, and I mean, that team is. I'm starting to see the consistency this last month.
Yeah.
And the goalie, I mean, you played with Odor.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what a goalie in your D, and then all of a sudden you get 4 lines contributing.
Yeah.
They've been a lot of fun. I think they're starting to take off. And for the fans, what a great destination to come before a game. And I think they all miss the tailgating at the Coliseum. But to do this here now and have a Winter Wonderland and then go watch a hockey game,
it's sweet.
Pretty special experience.
You think back at the Coliseum, how loud that place would get, right? And I mean, you saw it at its best, and over the years, you get to have this now and brand it, and the fans have the opportunity with this outside pregame, kind of get it loud and rambunctious inside that building. I can't wait to see where this keeps going from here.
I'm thinking of college game day. I mean,
exactly.
You guys should be doing that right behind us,
we've
right?
talked to our bosses over here. Get us out here for some games.
Hey, it's
There
no
we go.
coincidence that we are here on Long Island, though. It had to start here.
It
had to. We got a lot of Long Islanders in the building over at NHL.
Remember,
MLB
it's
Network.
on Long Island, not in Long Island.
Exactly.
On Long Island.
They're all smiling over there. Yeah, they're all smiling.
Yeah, let's go Islanders.
But let me
Right
also
back
say
in.
this quickly, too. Great ownership group, too.
Yes.
That changes everything, right? So you got the leadership with Lou and John Collins, but when you have Mr. Malkin and Mr. Ledecky, what they've invested in here in the area, but certainly in the team and in the fans, most importantly in the corporate partners, has been great.
Yes, Scott Malkin and John Ledecky have done a phenomenal job, and also bringing the alumni together.
Yes.
And really embracing the history and putting up this amazing arena. And then creating this kind of atmosphere. And then obviously John Collins coming on board. I mean, it's an amazing ownership group who cares about this community. People forget the park, I call it because it's pond hockey, the park behind us is open to the community.
Yes.
This is a give back, so everybody can enjoy it.
It's really
Islander
cool.
fans during the games, and it's an unbelievable destination, but this is going to be around for the whole community to enjoy.
They said there's learner skates and all that stuff. So
bunch of programming.
Let me do a quick shout out to the Oakview group.
Yeah,
Oakview
they did a
group
great
with
job.
Tim and Todd Lywicki and the whole Oakview group. They did the building out in Seattle, which I thought was in space because it was that great. They said, wait till you go to the one at Belmont, and now I see why. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a special experience to watch the game, and as you guys talked about earlier, the Islander fans waited a long time.
No doubt.
And it was worth the wait.
Yep.
Hey, well, we appreciate your time. We got one little thing that we like to do with our guests at the end. It's a little game called What Were You Thinking? We're going to show some pictures of certain situations, scenarios. You got to let us know if you remember it, and kind of what were you thinking in this
walk
moment?
us through.
What we got here?
Oh,
look at that.
Our boy Lots, Tommy B.
I was thinking, where do we get that hairdo from? Look at
you might
covering the ears.
You might have been wearing that velour helmet then.
Yeah, exactly. He had one. He had one then with the flow. That's a great shot.
That's a fun shot, yeah.
What do you remember draft day?
That was 40 years ago.
Wow, man. Wow.
Where's the thing
crazy.
gone? That was special. I remember everyone saying you're going to go back to Detroit, and obviously Eisenman was an amazing pick and what a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
But then they said either Hartford or Detroit. Nobody said the Islanders.
Really?
And then all of a sudden I heard my name, and I couldn't have been more excited to be a young kid.
Yeah.
Bossy, Trache,
Joining
Dennis
that group.
Potvin. What I learned during my days. So what a blessing. And then I met my wife here on Long Island.
Awesome.
It's home. And it's been a special run.
Perfect. What else we got here? We got
let's
another
roll
one.
it. Let's see what else
This
we
is a
have.
classic picture right here.
Well, there's my idol. That's one of my.
Man.
All right, so that's one of my favorite all-time pictures.
Wow.
There are two guys I looked up to, and I checked every single scoreboard when I was a kid. In the newspaper, the box scores, and it was for Lafleur or Perreault. Wow. And that was the first time I got to take a picture with Guy, and then we were both all-stars. And I'll tell you a fun story.
Yeah.
I tell the guys. Guy played as a Ranger his last year, and he scored his 1,000th point in the game the Islanders played him. We were winning 4-2. He was standing in front of the net, and it was about 15 seconds to go. And if you don't know this stuff happens, I went, Guy, he says, what? Can I have your stick after the game? And he says,
no way.
He says,
seriously?
let me score the goal. And so I looked 4-3. I skated away. If it came out, we were still winning.
Wow.
He brought the stick. He got somebody to bring the stick. I have that.
Unreal. That is unreal. I love it.
I was 12 years old at the
love
moment.
it. Oh, man.
I love that
That's
stuff.
special
Great.
stuff, right?
Best,
Living the dreams, right?
Best All-Star jerseys right there.
Those are
too.
fire.
Those are
Oh,
so
yeah,
nice.
yeah, I
We
love
got
those.
one, I think, from
Those are epic.
The World Cup here.
Those are epic.
Oh, that was special. I
That
mean,
was a big one.
Rupper, you know, when we were playing, they were always talking, hey, best on best. It's we had to earn it.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody was given.
No.
Weeks, nothing's
100%.
nothing's given to you. So I remember hearing the guys say, well, that was a miracle. It'll never happen again, and best on best will never happen. So sure enough, we lost in '91. And then we lost the first game, best of 3, in Philly, and we had to go to Montreal. And you know what I mean. Do you remember the 4 centermen? All right,
Gretz. Lemieux.
Mario was the only one missing. He didn't play.
Eiserman.
Eiserman.
Who am I missing
Putting
now?
you on the spot.
Mess.
Mess, yeah. Gretz,
and Joe Sakic.
Joe Sakic, fourth
Fourth
line
line?
center.
Those were the 4 centers.
That's unreal.
Somehow, and Joe, Tony
And
Monty.
he had Mario in the wings.
Yeah, exactly.
we pulled it together. Mike Richter played.
Ricky was unreal.
He made.
Yeah.
He was out of this world.
And all the guys just played their roles. And Lou was the general manager.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was a special
Are you-
moment for USA
Yeah,
Hockey.
huge
Yeah, that
moment
was-
for USA Hockey. You bummed you didn't do anything in the game?
That-
Oh, you're playing coy. You're playing coy here.
Yeah.
So what happened in the game?
Oh,
The championship game. Then
Wow.
you had a couple goals?
I didn't have 2 goals, no, but I was a part of that. No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't score. Brett got, I think.
Paulie?
All right,
got 2.
all right. My
Monty
apologies.
scored the other ones.
My apologies. I thought you potted
I had
two
a fun
there.
game against the Russians in Madison Square Garden, but I have to tell you, that team, we knew it was at stake.
Yeah.
And it was our give back to the 80 team
Yeah.
for the next generation
Wow.
to say, you know what, there's going to be another generation of the, when you think of the players, the Canes and
Yeah.
all the players now today,
And it was huge.
the
for-
Hughes
first guy.
and Matthews, and we thought, now it's their turn.
Yeah.
It was all about kind of giving it back and inspiring the next generation.
You're the first guy from that group I've heard
And
say
you know,
that. That's
you know what I'll
powerful.
say too, that I thought Theo Fleury said that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
It was not a good day in Canada, but afterwards he said, that was one of the most important wins for the sport of hockey,
Big time.
Yeah.
and what it did for the game.
Big time.
It made Americans feel like we can compete. And I know 80.
Yeah.
I know 80
Yeah,
did
no.
that, but this was like the next wave.
This
like
was
you
the
just
next
said.
iteration.
It was the next one where
Yeah.
it's like, okay, here we come.
16,
You know what I mean?
16 years later,
Yeah.
you knew that you couldn't sit in the front of the bus till you won.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And then it was, okay, you guys move in the back for now. To beat us next time.
Right, right.
But you know what? I have to say that the camaraderie and the respect, I always remember, listen, my dad was born in Tecumseh, Windsor.
Right.
My grandmother's from Rosemont, Montreal. So
Oh, wow.
I'm very French-Canadian, obviously, LaFontaine.
Yeah.
So I was so proud that for the sport of hockey, but more importantly, how the 80 team inspired guys like us.
Yeah.
And then maybe we could help just keep passing it on.
that's awesome.
But the sport, to me, it's more about the wins. It's about the values that it teaches us. It's
Sure.
the leadership, the teamwork, getting knocked down, getting back up, the adversity, the sacrifice. When it's all said and done, even though we don't play that much anymore, it lives inside us. And it's the values of the game teaches us. That,
Well said.
That really pulls us together.
Oh, well said, man.
So good. So
Well
good.
said.
I think we got one more here. What else do we got for Pats? What is this? What's happening right here?
What do we have?
So that was an Islander Halloween. I think that's David Volek. And I'm acting like I'm really surprised,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
Pretty
exactly.
scared, in fact.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, I can't see, but
remember
I know
who's
that's David.
Frankenstein?
I know that's David Volek.
That's
I should
so
just say
good.
Flats, but that's not
So
Flats.
what exactly is this? This is a Halloween.
This is a Halloween
Hallmark?
promotion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Halloween promo?
Yeah.
so
I think
good.
I look about 15, and I might have been 19.
That's
but,
good. Embrace the teen idol stuff.
We
It's all
gotta
good.
do some digging to see who
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
where did you guys come up with
Yeah,
this?
we
I
got-
have no
we know
idea.
people.
You got a scratch crew back there.
Yeah, we know some people. We got some contacts.
Yeah, we actually
That's
do
fun
have one
stuff.
more. I lied.
We got
We
one
have
more? What do we got? Go ahead and roll it.
Look at
Weeksy.
Weeksy.
Oh, look at this.
Yep. You remember
We were down in Congress, right?
Yep. It was Congress, Hockey Congress on Capitol Hill.
Yes.
Yep.
One of the first ones, too,
Yeah.
early on.
Yeah, that was an early
And
on
now
one.
there's the congressional caucus, the hockey
Correct.
caucus.
Correct.
Every year we go down and play the lobbyists
Yes.
and the
And the lawmakers.
lawmakers.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a
that.
lot of fun. That was cool, though. That was neat. That was really neat.
was
That's a
good.
really neat memory.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, Pat, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Great seeing you, great catching up.
Can't
and thanks
afford
for
any more
sharing.
of your time. We've taken up
Yeah,
a lot
we've
of
taken
it.
up a lot.
hey.
You said you're doing a lot of different things, so we better bow out. Our accountants are telling us to bow out now.
Hey, one thing I learned, and thank you guys. I say this now, it's a mantra I live by. Score your goals when you're young, because when you get older, life is truly about the assists. And to me, it's
Well
more
said.
it's more
Great
fun
stuff.
passing the puck and watching somebody else score. So I love watching you guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you. That-
Appreciate
well
you.
said. Well
Thank
said.
you guys.